Oh, Taryl's here!
Is he?
Can't get my grandma's mower running.
Here I am.
Taryl.
Pterodactyl.
That's that guy, Taryl.
What seems to be the problem?
Can't get my mower running. Grandma's mower.
Oh, okay. Well, good thing I brought Don the Masked Lawn. Okay. Watch carefully. The power of Bridget Stratton, Kroller, Kawasaki, Honda, Shippping! Thank you very much. Is that all you needed?
That's it.
Okay, time for me to go.
Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? That Taryl fell.
Where'd he go?
Tonight on Lawnmower Magician, secrets revealed. The Masked Magician shows us the secret behind the pterodactyl trick, the running lawnmower.
Lawnmower Magician, secret revealed.
Now normally the magician has an attractive assistant to distract the crowd. Well, this time he doesn't, so he must use the wand in order to distract the crowd. While the crowd is looking at the wand, the magician, using sleight of hand, disengages the PTO switch, allowing the lawnmower to stop. It's a pretty simple trick for a crowd-pleasing favorite. Another lawnmower secret revealed.
What is this crap? Wait a minute. I think I know who this is. This guy looks awfully familiar. I'm gonna put a stop to this knucklehead right now.
Yeah, Pop? What's going on?
Where were you last night?
Out with some friends.
Giving out any secrets?
Well, what do you mean, secret? No, what do you mean, secret? No. Come on, Pop. Come on, let's be realistic here.
Buster, come on off. Somebody's here.
Hey, how's it going, fellas? What's going on back here? Going really good. Just stopping in to thank you for helping me out with that PTO switch. You did such a lovely job. And I was just coming to see if I could pick your brain on some more stuff.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, I got a little list here. Let me get it. Oh, that ain't mine.
What is that?
A magic wand.
A magic wand?
Yeah, and I think I know who he is.
What are you gonna do with me?
I got a trick for you, Masked Magician. And for my next trick, I'm gonna saw Mr. Masked Magician in half.
It's just a toy saw.
What's that?
It's just a toy saw.
Yeah, well, this one's not. Don't you wish you had a magic wand that you can make these lawnmowers start with magic like this? I do. Pterodactyl here. I don't think we're going to have to worry about that Masked Magician giving out any more of my secrets. Today's how-to video is going to be on basic troubleshooting of a lawnmower. That would be troubleshooting on a mower that won't start. That'll crank over, you know, the flywheel will spin, but it just won't start. And you do know you got to have three things for these engines to start. You got to have fuel, you got to have spark, and you got to have compression. So we're going to run over troubleshooting tips on three things, so maybe it'll help you to diagnose the problem with the lawnmower so you can get it running. Okay, if you got a lawnmower that won't do nothing when you hit the key, like it's got dead battery, you need to reference my other video on electrical troubleshooting. But if you do have one, there's a few things you can check. You can check the battery, you can check the fuse, check the starter. But reference my other video on electrical troubleshooting, because this one's on lawnmowers that won't start. Don't crank over and spin, it just won't start. Won't fire, won't catch fire. First thing I would do, put a new spark plug in it, just to eliminate if you have a bad plug. Go buy a new plug or plugs if it's got more than one cylinder. Put new plugs in it, see if it starts. Still doesn't start. Next thing you're going to want to do is I use carb spray, because carb spray works the same as starting fluid. That way you don't have to have starting fluid and carb spray. Now, we're only using this as a tool for troubleshooting. We're not going to try to keep the lawnmower running on this by spraying it in there. We're just going to spray it in, take the air cleaner off, find out on your lawnmower where the air filter is and take it off. On this particular crawler engine, the air filter's right here. Here's the inlet. So we would take some of this, spray it in there a little bit, hit the key, see if it starts. If it starts and dies, then you know you got a fuel issue. You know it ain't getting gas, because it's getting spark and compression. It's only running on this spray. Now, a lot of people don't know how to test a fuel pump. So one of the things you do, I got a fuel pump here that we're going to use as an aid. Fuel coming in, pulse line. This would be the line going to the carburetor. So what you do is pull this line off, get yourself a can or some container, crank the engine over and see if gas is pumping out of here. If it's pumping out, then you know, okay, the fuel pump's working. That's how you basically test a fuel pump. Just crank it over and watch it spit out the end here. Make sure you got good steady flow. You could have clogged fuel filter. You could have a clogged fuel line. The gas tank may have a bunch of crap in it, and it all accumulated right around that fitting in the bottom of the tank. You might have to pull that fitting off the bottom of the tank and blow it out, clean it out. So those are things to check if it's got a fuel problem. Maybe you got water in your fuel. Maybe your fuel's contaminated. That's a thing to check. If you spray carb spray in there and it still doesn't start, your next step would be to check for spark. So pull the plug wire off, get a spark tester, or hold a spark plug on the head, see if you can see it sparking at the gap. Or if you're brave enough, grab a hold of the wire. Woo! Woo! Get a good old jolt. Bam! Baby, that thing got fire. Now, if you got fire and you got gas, the third thing you need to check is compression. Now, if you got an overhead valve engine and one of the push rods come off, you'll still have compression because the valves aren't opening and closing. The valves will be closed, and when you crank it over, you're going to get a compression reading. So pull the valve cover, look and see if the push rods may have came off the rockers. That's one thing to check. If they're intact and you still got fire and you still got spark, well, maybe one of the valves is being held open. Then you want to check with a compression tester. So that's just basic troubleshooting tips on checking things to see, you know, why that mower won't start. Now, one thing I'm going to show you out in the yard is how to check an engine that's a twin cylinder and check it to see if it's maybe only running on one. And I'm going to show you how to do that out in the yard, where we're going to go out there. Shazamo! Now, we just got lucky because we were just going to make this video this weekend, and this lawnmower happened to come in the shop. Now, this lawnmower runs, but the customer's complaining that it has no power. So watch. I'm going to start it. It runs. See, this is a twin cylinder engine. It's got two valve covers, two spark plugs. Now, you know how you test to see why it's running on one cylinder? It's got no power. Very simple. Wet your fingers. Now touch the exhaust pipes with your wet fingers. This one's ice cold. Look at that. Nothing. Now I'm going to wet my fingers and test the other side. Here, Mr. Cameraman, get me again. Yeah. Yep. Oh, that one's hot. This one, ice cold. Look at, I'm grabbing onto it, nothing. So that means this thing's running on one cylinder. Now I gotta find out why. Maybe it's got no spark on this side. Maybe it's got a valve problem. But that's how you check for that. Troubleshooting tip. And as always, there's your dinner. There's your dinner. Shazamo!